Hey guys, it's Mugalore here, and I'm back again with another discussion video. And today I want to talk about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle because it's been a while since I talked about this game, and it's just some interesting information that had popped up. Is because yesterday or last night, I would say, I was in the discussion with a couple of my Discord members, and we were talking about our favorite video game characters and what characters we love to see in certain fighting games as far as third-party representation is concerned. So this particular character name had popped up, and we talked about it, and they were saying that it would have been cool, or there was a rumor that this character could have happened in Tekken 7. So as we were talking about this character, I was on Google, still researching and getting my material and resources together for my next big video for YouTube, and this character name had just popped up out of nowhere alongside another character, and we just got finished talking about this character. So I want us to just look into it, is because I thought it was pretty interesting that this character is actually being looked into to be pretty much future DLC for BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. So let's go to it. The website that I got this information from is from Siliconera. I'll also have the link to that in the description below. So let's move on. So it looks like that BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle producer wants to add Nier Automata 2B and not S into the game. Now, I will be a sucker and buy BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle just based off those two characters alone. I think that would be pretty awesome. I think that'd be cool. So now, from what we have here, we have in the article, it says that BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle released today, and producer Toshimichi Mori had a lot to share in an interview with Forbes, including characters he liked to see from Ruby and others on his wish list. Now, here's what Mori pretty much had to say when asked if he had any ideas for the Ruby series, including a couple characters he'd like to see added into BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. So, oh yeah, I love Ruby. I think it's a great property and has a great story, so my love for Ruby hasn't changed at all. That's a really difficult question. I mean, I love to see Penny in the game, and Penny and Adam, definitely. So naturally, everything had to go through me. Everything. I had a lot of suggestions, especially for Ruby and Weiss. However, once we got to Blake and Yang, I think my team really started to understand what I was looking for. So it didn't require as much feedback. So I'm sure that there might be a strong voice from fans overseas to see more Ruby characters, but if I focus too much on what the fans want, then it will take away from developing what I want to develop. Which I want to stop right here for a second, because I think it's pretty interesting what he just said right here. This is the thing. In today's time, and I guess you could say, gaming has evolved so much, and there's been a bridge that's been put together, that bridges together between the community and the fan base with the developers of that particular games that the fans enjoy and love to support. Fans are able to give their feedback. There's a community manager that represents the community, and they give that feedback back to the producers, and the producers and the developers try to put some of those fan feedbacks into these games. And it's a lot different than when I was growing up back during the NES era, where developers would develop a game and fans didn't have really an outlet to give the feedback to developers. So we just hope and pray to God that the game that we bought was pretty good. We buy it, we love it, and a community is based and formed around that particular game, and fans would cherish their moments and share those nostalgic moments with one another, and those set pieces within that community and within that game. And then we pray to God that the developers will follow up and create another great experience with a follow-up of a sequel, or just another gaming franchise in general. So things have changed, and I love what Mori was pretty much saying, because it's no longer his game, because developers, at the end of the day, it's their game, and they want to put their vision into the game. And the moment they just take too much fan feedback, that is no longer their idea, it's no longer their game. It's a game developed by the community. And being a developer or a producer or a writer, you're an artist. You want to be able to put your own ideas. You want to just be able to put everything that you want into your game, because it's your game at the end of the day. And besides that, fans are very fickle. You always got one half of the community that loves this particular feature or character or whatever of the game, and then within that same community you have another split between different factions of what they like about that particular game, which means you can't satisfy everybody, because if you cater to one part of the fan base, you're going to piss off somebody else, and then that fan base feels though they got shafted, and then they start bad mouthing the game, and they become war between the community and the fan base itself. So I think this is smart on his end. Create a game that he wants to create, and if it happens to coincide with what the fan wants, I think that's the best way to go about developing the game. So he says, personally, I just make whatever it is I want to make at the time. When we first started making BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, I wanted to make a tag team game, but will I make a tag team game forever? That's a different conversation. I'm a fan of the genre, so I'll probably continue to make it in some form or another. But I know the fans want to pull me in certain directions, and not to mention the company. They dictate a lot of what I could do. So if I want to make a game, want to make, and what the fans want are in the same line, that's really the best case scenario. But let's just talk about other IP, because that's a whole different story. It's nice, but not the end game. So he's pretty much saying that there's a lot of other franchises and other companies that want to be that they love to put into it, and that's what everybody wants to know with other characters. But he don't want to end off the game just by focusing on just throwing in a bunch of third parties and stuff. So I think that's also a good thing to also keep in mind, and stay on the path as a developer to what he wants to develop. So let's continue on. So when he asks what he's been playing recently, Mori shared his enthusiasm for Nier Automata, especially for its protagonists 2B and 9S. Now, as far as playing games go recently, right? I've been playing Nier Automata again. Of course, I beat it a while ago on PS4, but I saw it on Steam on sale. That game is really well done. A lot to learn from it. Hey, we should release 2B and 9S on BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, yeah? That would be good. I would want to play that. Should I ask them? So, lastly, when asked about future plans at the end of the interview, Mori went back to more Nier, which shows that he's really fond of this idea. That's what it seems like to me. He's staying on this idea of Nier Automata. It's on his brain. He's been playing the game. Once again, he picked it up, playing it on Steam and stuff. So it's really going through his head. And I know as a developer, it's going through his head as he's playing. It's like, wow, like, I'm working on a fighting game. These characters will be a perfect fighting game. Characters to transition well into a fighting game. So I know he's fiending right now. He's really fiending. Like, yo, these characters got to be in the game. I would love to make it possible. So it looks like he's very confident, and he really wants to talk to them about implementing these characters. So, as he mentioned, as I mentioned it a little earlier too, but Nier, that would be an amazing project to work on. 2B and 9S will be amazing additions. Why didn't I think of that sooner? I should try asking them though, really. But having said all that, and having created BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, if you go down the path of collaboration, it's endless, really. So I still want to be very mindful of creating my own content. I hope you all stay tuned and look forward to what we make next. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the article, but it looks like that he's really adamant about Nier Automata and including 2B and 9S, and he really sound confident that, hey, I'm gonna go up and just ask him and see what's up with that. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't think that Square Enix and Platinum Games or the companies behind this franchise, this property, I don't think that they wouldn't mind that. I mean, we already seen Noctis in Tekken 7. Cloud was in Smash Brothers Wii U, and we starting to see a lot of I guess you say Square Enix representations in little pockets and small properties from into like fit into other games, especially in Japan. So that's the thing I noticed about Japanese developers. When they doing collaborations, there's less of a hurdle that they go through. Is they do have some form of an agreement of how they want to represent their brand, represent their characters in said games. So they never really have those issues. When you look at relationships with collaborations between a Japanese company or just a foreign company with a Western company, when they come together, there's always some complications or some miscommunications, or who's going to be the one that's going to who's going to take charge in developing, and there's always a way where they don't want their games to be misrepresented a certain way. Like, perfect example, The Kingdom Hearts franchise. Kingdom Hearts franchise is the same way. You have Disney and you have Square Enix. Now, of course, Disney, they want their characters in the forefront. That's the only way for that game to be created. Disney has to be in the forefront and the main focus as far as the plot and stuff is concerned. That's why we see more Disney characters and less Final Fantasy characters. So that's the only way, and it's always that tug of war. And that's the reason why Kingdom Hearts 2 had a long time in development, because Square wanted to do things with Mickey Mouse or put more emphasis on Mickey Mouse, but Disney was more reluctant to have Square do whatever they want with Mickey Mouse, because they want Mickey Mouse image to be portrayed a certain way. So that's what took so long with the development of Kingdom Hearts 2. So look at Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom, especially Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think Nisuma, the producer of that, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, he was pretty much saying that it was really like a tug of war working with Marvel. And they always have a hard time working with Marvel when it comes to the Marvel vs. Capcom series, because they really care about the characters. Marvel, they really care about how the characters are portrayed and everything. And they always had somebody from Marvel sitting over their shoulder looking over and see what they do with their characters. And I remember the producer saying that they had a hard time developing Doctor Strange. He was one of the hardest characters to develop, not because of the move set or anything like that. It was because they had to go through so many channels and they had so many people over their back from Marvel to make sure that he's portrayed a certain way, even down to his hand movements and everything. And every time someone from Marvel would look at the character, they would tell him, no, like we suggest you do it this way and that way. So it was always that tug of war. But to see Japanese developers work with other Japanese developers, I don't think that seeing 2B or not as not making it in as future DLC to be an issue. I think it's more of a possibility more than anything else. So I would definitely love to see that. But I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this, because I think this is pretty cool. And it's also hearing this news may also, I guess you could say, turn off a couple fans of this game, or fans of the Arc System games period, because from what I've been reading in the comments and from event hubs and other sites and forums and everything dedicated to fighting games, there's the people that really are bothered by the roster choice of this game. People are calling it waifu cross tag battle, because there's a lot of waifus that have been selected to be in this game, and a lot of characters and fan favorites have been left out. And adding 2B to the mix is another waifu added to the game if they decide to go this route and make her DLC. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. What characters are you looking forward to BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle? And I want to know if you guys are picking it up for launch. And I also want to know what other franchises would you love to see be represented in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. So this is it. See you guys later. This is Mugen Lore, and I'm signing it off. And don't forget to hit that notification button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace out. See you Game Fiends later.